Welcome to tap class. We're going to begin with our single sound steps. Single sounds are going to be your toe drops and heel drops. Notice that when I was doing toe drops, they were finishing in a downward position. Down, 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 down. I'll turn so you can see that. Drop, 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 drop. And then another single sound is a dig. A dig is going to finish in an up position. Dig, dig, dig. Toe dig. Other side, heel dig, and toe dig. Most of the time, when you hear someone say heel, they're going to mean a heel dig, depending on what just happened. So a heel dig is going to begin up and move down and finish up. A heel drop can come from an up position and stay down. Whenever we say toe, we generally mean a toe dig, and that's going to come up. We're not going to really necessarily do that and let it stay down. A choreographer may choose to do that in some particular combination, but as a general rule, from a technical standpoint, that's not how we would do that. All right? So now let's look at a few other single sound steps. Starting with our right foot, we're going to lift it off the floor and let the ball of the foot brush forward. Now, a brush is an upward ending motion, and it moves away from the body. Brush. Obviously, we would need something after that, right? We could do brush, tap. Other side, brush, and brush. Then we have tap, touch, move to the other side, tap, and touch. Those are single sounds, and they're going to finish up. Tap, touch, tap, touch. Also in that group of things that are going to finish up is using the whole foot for a stomp. Stomp. Other side. Stomp. So we have tap, touch, stomp. They all finish upward, and none of them take any weight. We don't stand on those. Moving to the left. Tap, touch, stomp. Now let's take a look at things that are going to change weight. Step is when we stand on the ball of the foot. And stamp is when we change weight with the whole foot. Typically, whenever we stamp after a movement, then we are going to use the other foot. Now, I said typically because that's not always. You already know that in dance, there's very few things you'll ever do that are always, all right? So we want to go ahead and take a look at all of those again. We had our toe drops, heel drops, toe drop, heel drop. And then we also had our digs, heel digs, and toe digs. And then we had, let's review the things that are lifting off the floor: the tap, the touch, the stomp, other side, tap, touch, stomp. And also lifting off the floor was brush. Now when we bring that back, it's called spank. We're still only using our tippy toe tap for brush and spank. brush, and spank. Those are both upward ending movements. Neither of those take any weight. We just manipulate the bottom of the leg and the ankle to make that sound. The things that are going to take weight are going to be step and stamp. We can take all the things that we just did and we can put them into numerous combinations. Now, just to let you know about two other things that we probably won't be using for a while, but so that you can know what they are. These also take weight. One of those is a hop. Now, I have a raised wood floor here, so the computer is going to move a little bit. The camera will move when I hop. When you hop, you're taking your weight from one foot and landing back on the same foot. So a hop does not change weight, but it does take weight. On the other hand, a leap will change weight. So if I'm standing on my left, but I need to be over here, there are a number of things I could do. I could just stamp and change weight. I could step and change weight. Or I can take one foot off the ground and land on the other for a leap. And there are times where we will use that. So a leap comes off the ground and changes weight. A hop comes off the ground and does not change weight, but does take weight because it lands down. So just let all of that soak in. That's a lot of information for right now. Don't worry about trying to remember all the exact things about it, because you can watch this again and continue to learn. But rather, let's let our body move into the movement, move into the action, and we'll learn that way. So we're going to do some on-the-job training here. To take a brush and a spank together, we made a shuffle. So I like to use tap math, and I actually have flashcards that I use in the classroom. And we're going to say a brush plus a spank equals a shuffle. All right? Now, both of those are upward ending. Something must happen for me to get my foot back to the floor. So we're going to choose a stamp. And a stamp changes weight. So now we're over here on the left foot. We're going to pick it up. We cannot brush without taking the foot off the floor to make the sound. We're going to flex our foot for the brush sound and bring it back with the spank, and then add in the shuffle. When we do those three skills together, brush, spank, stamp, we call that shuffle stamp. So you now own shuffle stamp. You can do shuffle stamp. Which is only three single sounds put together. Brush, spank, stamp. So it's a lot like cooking. You're just going to take different ingredients and make a different recipe for an end product that's going to probably change every time, right? Let's take a look at two more sounds together. We have a brush, so pick that foot up, take the brush away, and then we're going to tap onto the floor. When we pick that foot up, it doesn't make any sounds when it comes back toward the body. Brush, tap. We could also do brush, touch. But you know that those are going to come off the ground. We do not have any weight or brush, touch. There's no weight there. So how are we going to get to the other side? Something needs to happen. So what we just performed there is called a slap, brush step. That's a slap, because we really didn't take any weight. We came off the floor. But if we would like to change that, we can turn it into a brush step. Remember, a step takes weight on the ball of the foot. Brush step, brush step, brush step, brush step. Now, I just traveled downstage when I did that. You don't have to travel. Those can happen in place. Brush, and then step under your body. Brush, step. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that. Brush, step. Brush, step. Brush, step. We can make the same sounds without having to make a really large movement. But we can make a large movement. What if you needed to travel across the stage to get to a certain point? Then you have the ability to do that. So however long your legs are, that's how far you can actually move in that step. There are things we can do after a flap. So a flap is a brush and a step. And then from there, we could put our heel down. Brush, step, heel down. Brush, step, heel down. Brush, step, heel down. Brush, step, heel down. And again, I traveled that. You don't have to travel it. Brush, step, heel. Brush, step, heel. Brush, step, heel. Brush, step, heel. The step is the motion that took the weight, not the heel drop. So if I did that with lifting a foot, brush, step, this foot's already coming up, heel. So I was standing on my foot on the step part, not necessarily the heel drop. The heel drop happened after I changed my weight. So we're gonna brush, step, change weight, then take the heel drop. Brush, step, take weight, heel drop. Brush and stand on it, drop the heel. Brush and stand on it, drop the heel. Fall lap, heel, fall lap, heel. Now I could add a heel to that. Fall lap, heel, heel. Fall lap, heel, heel. But I'm still taking the weight over on the flap part. I could be flap, this foot could come off the ground, heel, heel. It's a little more difficult to balance, but I'm not standing on it. Fall lap, I'm not standing on this leg anymore. Heel, heel. You don't normally see people do that in a tap dance, but hey, I kind of like it. So maybe you will see it in a tap dance. So those are just some things we can keep in mind when we transfer weight, and how we transfer our weight is supremely important in tap dancing, okay? So let's take another look at a way we can transition from side to side, and that is ball change. Ball change is simply stepping onto the ball of the foot or the toe tap and then taking a stamp with the other foot. Ball, change, ball, change, ball, change. Let's look at the other side. Ball, change, ball, change, ball, change. Yeah? How's that? Pretty good? Now, ball change doesn't usually stand by itself. It can. You could do 4 or 5 in a row. And a lot of times people will travel with a ball change to somewhere, or to change positions, change formations. It's a very common way to move around the stage. Another thing we do with the ball change is that we will add it to something, another skill that we're already doing. So for today, we're going to add it to a shuffle, a brush front, and a spank that comes back. Now we're ready for the ball on this one, ball change. Because this foot was up, we needed to start the ball change with the same leg. So when we shuffle with the right foot will start the ball change. So we said right foot, and then a right and a left. Let's go to the other side. Shuffle, ball, change. Brush and spank, and step and stamp. Shuffle, ball, change. So you'll notice that because we used the same foot to start the ball change, we did not change feet. We did change weight, but we ended up right back where we started from. So we'll have to add something to that. Some step has to come after that if we're going to stand on the other foot or use the other foot in some way. So we have a shuffle and a ball change, and something needs to happen with this left leg. Let's make it a stamp. Now we can move to the other side. Shuffle, ball change, and stamp. Shuffle, ball change, stamp. All right? Now what if we added a ball change to a flap? Remember, in a flap, we're standing on the ball of this foot. So we will brush step. Now we're going to add the ball change, starting with the opposite foot. Ball change. Now we're already on the other foot. So when we add a ball change to a skill that ends downward, then we're going to be alternating our feet every time. Flap, ball, change. Flap, ball, change. Now a flat ball change can move you very far, or it can be stationary. Flap, ball, change. Stay in place. Or you can move around. Flap, ball, change. Oh, I messed up that, sorry. Flap, ball, change. So that's how we can move that one. Let's take a look at a traditional tap warm-up. Now that we have a little bit of knowledge about some of the basic steps, a lot of times if you go into a tap dance class, there's going to be a set warm-up, and a very traditional way to do a warm-up is using the counting pattern of 8, 8, 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 1. And that can be done in many combinations. So for today, we're going to do 8 toe drops on the right, 8 toe drops on the left. Then we'll transition to heel drops on the right, heel drops on the left for 8. Then we're going to do the same thing with 4s. 4, 4, 4, 4. We're going to repeat the 4 action. 4, 4, 4, 4. Then we're going to do the 2s for 2. 2s, 2, 2, 2. Drop, 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 drop. And then we're going to do singles. A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, a 5 and a 6 and a 7 and 8. Then we're going to do that one more time. Single, 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 single. 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll move nice and slow. We're going to start with the right, and then we're going to transition and keep going as we move into starting the whole combo with the left. Knees are soft, hips are free. We're not clenching anything. We're very loose. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and we have 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 4, and heel. Right toe, 2, 3, 4, left toe. Right heel, and left heel, and we're 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Singles are next. 1, 1, 1, 1. Right, left, toe, toe, heel, heel. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left heel. right heel, and 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, and 4, left toe, 1, 2, 3, 4, right toe, left heel, and we have 2, 2, 2, and 2 again, 2, and single, 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 toe, heel drop. Very, very good. Yay. We did great on that. So we can do that in a lot of different ways, a lot of different combinations, but that's a pretty basic idea of the way the numbers would pare down from the 8s down 4s and 2s, and then having the single counts. Let's take a quick little look at drops versus steps. So in this warm-up, we just did drop, 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 drop. From the left, it would go drop, 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 drop. But if we change that and we took weight into the balls of the feet with a step and a step, and then a heel drop and a heel drop, step, step, heel drop, or moving from the left, step, step, heel drop, step, step, heel drop, That is called a cramp roll. So we have step, step, heel, heel, step, step, heel, heel. Again, one more time with the right, and then left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So that's our cramp roll in a nice slow way. Nice, very good. Let's take a look at the step heel. So just like we did in the cramp roll, where we did step, step, heel, heel, we can take away from that and do just one foot with a step and a heel, and the other foot with a step and a heel. And a lot like ball change, we can add that to a shuffle. Shuffle, step, heel. Shuffle, step, heel. We could add it to 2 shuffles. Shuffle, shuffle, step, heel. And because the step goes down, it needs to be added to an upward movement. So we can go brush, step, heel. Brush, step, heel. When we do brush, step, heel, we're actually doing the same as what we would call a lap heel. Brush, step, heel. Brush, step, heel. Brush, step, heel. But we know that a brush and a step together is called a flap, right? Lap heel. Lap heel. Brush, step, heel. Brush, step, heel. Shuffle, step, heel. Shuffle, step, heel. So those are just some combinations that we can put together that are relatively simple when we do them slowly, but as we progress and we start to make them more quick, then it's going to start to look a lot more complicated. It won't be. It's the same thing we just did. It's just faster. So you know the rule in tap is if you can say it, you can do it. So learn the vocabulary, put it in your mind, and as we learn the steps, begin to think in your mind. Don't say it out loud as you're doing it, okay? Brush, step, heel. Brush, step, heel. Step, whatever it is, okay? So whatever it is that you put together, and you can take all of the things that we learned and do that. We're going to talk about one more combination in our class today. We're going to move forward, out to the side, and then we're going to open our hip and let our body move out to the back diagonal. And when I say side, I don't really mean like out from your shoulder. Inside, in second, so we would have, if this were ballet, we would have devant, second, or second, and then derriere. But we're, instead of being in this position, we're going to actually turn ourselves and go this way. We can also call this around the world if we want to. So we're going to go front, side, and back, but side and back aren't really out to the side and out to the back, right? So we can think of that more as being in the front, and then on a front diagonal, bending this knee, softening a lot into this knee, opening out the hips, and moving to the back diagonal. And then when we come together, we're going to take a step, heel. Now, when did we transfer the weight? We transfer the weight on the step, not the heel. Okay? I'm already here. I'm just going to drop my heel down to make the second sound. Looking at the left foot, we would go front and then out to the diagonal on the front. Open the hips, soften the knee into the back diagonal, and bring it together for a step and a heel. So we have a shuffle, and then a shuffle, and then a shuffle, and a step, heel, and a shuffle, and a shuffle, and a shuffle, and a step, heel. Let's do all of that again. We're going to start with the left foot. Arms are out for balance. We're standing on a soft standing leg. Working leg is ready to go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Oh, start over. We got to go to the front first. Sorry about that. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Diagonal 3, 4. Back diagonal 5, 6, and 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all of those sounds help us come up with the full 8 count that we like to see in our tap dancing. So if you like that and you think, well, I did good on that, I think I'm ready for the next challenge. Here's the next challenge. We're going to take that step heel after every shuffle. So we're going to shuffle, step heel, change weight. A step heel changes weights. We're going to go to the other side. Shuffle, step heel to the front diagonal. Shuffle, step on it, heel drop, shuffle, step, change that weight there, heel drop, heel goes to the hip goes to the back, shuffle, step, heel, shuffle, step, heel. Nice. Now let's count that, okay? So we have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So everything fit our profile for an 8 count. However, we just completed 3 8 counts. We would prefer to have 4 8 counts together to complete our measure. So we're going to add a cramp roll series, 2 slow cramp rolls. Step, step, heel, heel. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so that will complete the full measure. Let's do all of that together, starting with the left. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out to the side. 5, 6, 7, 8. Open it out, soften the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Left side cramp roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So anything we did on the right side, we want to repeat and do on the left side. So that gives us a little bit to work on. I hope that all of that made sense and that you can practice that in a nice open space without harming your floor. After you finish this video would be a great time to do some stretches. So you could take a flexed foot, soften this knee, give it some few bounces as you start to bring your body forward. Move into that, spend some time there, repeat it on the other side. And then of course, your traditional lunge is going to be a good stretch there, keeping both hips squared, moving to the front. Or at this point, you could end this video and do a full yoga class. That would be awesome too. All right, thanks for practicing. I'll see you soon.